Hey.
Yes, yep, James.
Yeah, I'm good.
So we've finally figured out all the people that we're looking to talk to for this project. Mm-hmm. Are you good to go?
Yeah, no, I'm good to go whenever. Is there a particular angle we're looking at here?
So, well, I was thinking, what kind of are your aims for what you want to show in there? If you've got an idea for that.
Well, I think that for me, it's getting rid of that misconception, isn't it? People think Wythenshawe, you tell people from Wythenshawe and they go, oh, as though, they feel really sorry for you, or their tone shifts towards you as though you might be some kind of danger to them. And what people don't realise is that beneath that, there's just so much talent and community and passion and love. And I think if we really focus on that angle, not that it'll be difficult, because I think people from Wythenshawe really want to talk about that aspect of their community. I think that's what we go with.
Yes, right, 100%. That sounds amazing. So we're going to meet you in Wythenshawe. I need you to get yourself packed up. Is there anything else that you need from us?
No. Let's just rock and roll.
Cool. Right. Well, we'll catch you there. Give us a couple of hours. We'll meet you at the Pacific. Right.
Fab. Speak soon.
Bye.
So, our journey begins. We're setting out to amplify the talented and influential voices of the individuals and organisations that make up the creative and cultural life of Wythenshawe. This isn't my story alone. It's a co-produced film and tapestry to celebrate the area's true identity and highlight the aspirations that thrive here.
You probably noticed one of the things about Wythenshawe that I've always loved is how green it is. And it is actually, I think it's the greenest council estate in Europe, as well as being the second largest. And the reason it's so green is because when it was given a cost to the council, within the contract it stated that for every tree chopped down to build housing, a new tree must be built. So it's why it looks as lush as it does, and why oftentimes people mistake Wythenshawe for quite an affluent area, because it looks so green.
That we made together when we're making games out of pressure, when guys are like Raz, but we've been doing this all our lives, and guys are like, nah, I'm not having it, wasting all your precious time. Then Wythenshawe boys play that Wythenshawe dub. Yeah, I like that reggae music.
I think when we think about visibility, when we think about equality, I think we've got to think about working class being a side of that as well. Do you know? Because when people aren't seen, they can disengage, and that'd be taking something away from the culture of our city, I think. Do you know? So for me, we've got to put value in giving everyone a chance.
Wythenshawe boys play that Wythenshawe dub. Yeah, I like that reggae music. I turn the reggae.
Wythenshawe for me, it's just part of me. I'm born and bred in Wythenshawe. I still live in Wythenshawe. I went to school here. I work around here, as amongst other places. It's just home for me. It's a place where, you know, I'm proud to say, when people say where are you from, I say I'm from Wythenshawe, and I don't know, you know, to me that's a great thing, and I don't know if that's because I quite like the fact that it's not all glitz and glamour in Wythenshawe, and I feel comfortable telling people I'm from Wythenshawe because it shows that, you know, you've not just been given everything on a silver spoon, and you know, you've just been, everything's landed on your lap from growing up. It shows that you've worked hard to get to where you are, and that's why I'm really proud of being from around here.
That pride, that's the voice we came here to amplify. It's the spirit that has been the foundation of Wythenshawe's cultural life for generations. For our journey to be inclusive, I had to start where my own creative story began.
Yeah. No, it's fine, it's fine.
I know you know James Clegg.
I do know James Clegg. I remember James,
man,
yeah.
I know you from when I was a little kid.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Yeah, man, good to see you. You're still doing the movies, yeah?
That's what we're doing now, yeah.
Man,
Have a good one, man.
appreciate it. I'll check you out at Gamers Go 2207.
Fab.
Your social platform.
Yeah.
You'll find me, bro.
Fab.
Appreciate it.
You have a good day, man. See you in a bit.
Well, if that's not impact,
Yeah, wow.
anyway.
Yeah, and that is a blast from a long past, even when I was a teenager, before I got into teaching. And so basically me and a couple of friends of mine would make movies. They were awful. They were terrible films. They were kung fu films. Basically I wanted to be Blackie Chan. And I didn't know kung fu yet. So I wouldn't learn that until I went to China. And so we would go into Wythenshawe Park with a camera that I borrowed from someone and make these movies and just like choreograph these awful fight sequences, and that was brilliant. It was a great time. But that's kind of like, it was nice having friends that were excited to be involved, and that's one of the things that, like, see, your notes about Wythenshawe is that if there's something cool going on, people will get involved, people will want to talk to you about it, and give you the best chance of doing things. So yeah. So no, it's okay. So this is the forum, and I spent a lot of my childhood here. Essentially, this was the beginning of my kind of creative journey. My old lollipop man, when I was in high school, found out that I liked doing drama at school because we used to chat all the time. And he said, well, there's this thing called the Wythenshawe Youth Theatre that's at the Wythenshawe Forum. It's £1. Now, we grew up super poor, but I had a job. It was about 12 or 13 years old. I worked, had the bog standard paper round, but then worked in the pound shop in Civic. And I would go in the morning on a Saturday, do my job for £2 an hour for 4 hours, take that money in the afternoon, come to Wythenshawe Youth Theatre, study drama, rehearse for plays and pantomimes with Glyn Evans and the wonderful team of people who volunteered to help us young people actually make something of ourselves. The forum were amazing. We put on 2 shows a year. And I learned a lot of discipline, I learned a lot of confidence, I made a lot of friends, which is something I didn't necessarily have in high school. And it was really nice because I was just accepted for the talent that I had, and they saw that and they just wanted to nurture that. And they gave us chances to stage manage and direct, and it got to the point where I, as a teenager, would be teaching what I had learnt previously. And it's stuff like that, I think, where the community comes together and they want to help young people to thrive, that makes somewhere like Wythenshawe really special. And it's something that we need to fund a little bit more of, because although, yes, they did that for free, and yes, there were £1 subsidies, that should have been financed. there should have been money going to those people who were giving up their time, pay for the resources, and make sure that we had the very best. Unfortunately, the Wythenshawe Youth Theatre, as far as I'm aware, is gone now, but it's something that should definitely be restarted because there are so many kids in Wythenshawe. If they were given a chance to do some drama professionally on a stage like that, they would flourish.
So I am an older person, and I got back into my creativity when I was 60. When I was 60, I decided to say yes to everything that came forward, and it changed my life. It did change my life. You know, a lot of my work is about co-production, and it's about meeting people with experience and chatting to them and forming a narrative. I'm leading on a project at the moment, interviewing residents, community members who have got experience of certain health themes that are prominent in Wythenshawe. And I meet them here, we talk about our experiences, and from that I will craft monologues around those issues that have been highlighted, but from different perspectives. So that's where my creativity and writing will come in.
Coming up, we've got Dreadlock Holiday, 10cc, and I Have a Dream, ABBA.
Marie Greenhouse is a huge figure in Wythenshawe. On one level, Marie used to work with us. She used to work with us and conduct drama sessions. She's a key person for the Wythenshawe Good Neighbours. And she's a mover and shaker. She does a radio show on Wythenshawe FM. And Marie's father taught me in primary school, Mr. Greenhouse. Everyone was afraid of him, but I wasn't afraid of him, and he was great with me. He said, I can't believe he failed 11 plus. But Marie Greenhouse has put a lot of work and effort into Wythenshawe. She continues to do so, and she's a wonderful person to know and to have worked with.
Wythenshawe boys with that Wythenshawe baseline.
Marie on Wythenshawe FM, and I have a guest in the studio, David Judge, writer, published writer, actor. Anything else? Any other strings to your bow?
A bit of a div. yeah. Theatre maker, troublemaker. Someone who enjoys words. I enjoy words. I enjoy stories. I've always kind of been an MC or a poet or a look at me attention seeker, and I think as I've matured I've just found a way to kind of monetize that and call it art in a way. No, it's not that simple. But yeah, David Judge, actor, playwright, poet. Here flying the Manchester flag in the arts.
And if this was TV, I've got like this really big grin on my face because it's like great to have creatives and local people in the studio. So I'm like really chuffed to have you here. So it's great. So we talked about some of your, so you're a published playwright, which like I'm just bowing. If you're not on film, I'm bowing to a published playwright. Fabulous. How hard was that to do?
Yeah.
As it was, because I know it was.
Yeah. Just finishing something's quite hard. I often think about it when I'm doing my washing up. I'm someone who I rinse, but I don't dry. I let them dry by themselves, and I leave things incomplete. And I think when I finished writing my first play, the satisfaction from finishing something, and actually looking back through my life and going, I've always waited to be told that's enough. Okay, that's enough now. We can stop. For you to say, wow, I've come full circle on this piece, and then for someone else to say, we want to sell that on your behalf. We want to publish that and sell it on your behalf. It's mind-blowing. I mean, my first play that was published was an autobiographical story about my father, who grew up in Wythenshawe, and Dave Judge, younger brother of Tommy Judge. And the story was so personal, you kind of get worried that you're not writing a piece of theatre, you're not writing a story for other people. Maybe I'm writing my own therapy lesson here. And when someone else engages with it and they can take ownership of it and make it their story and see value in it, And I think the more people can be encouraged that there's value in their story, however close to home it is or far away, everyone has at least one story which is publishable, which is shareable, which is speakable, do you know, that other people can take ownership of. It was amazing. I wrote this play about me and my dad, and it was put on at the Theatre Home in Manchester, and I had some neighbours who never really go to the theatre. They kind of voted Brexit, were kind of politically different in a little bit of a way, but I wanted to encourage them to broaden their horizons, to come out and get out of your comfort zone. They were buying everyone drinks at the end of the play, going, Dave, my dad used to drive a Ford Capri down Princess Parkway. How did you know this? But as if you wrote a play about them. And it's similar with music. When you hear a good song, you go, it's as if the musician wrote the song for me. How did they know me so well? And to realise that you can touch people like that is quite phenomenal.
Yeah, and also we were talking about connections. You know, while we've been making this documentary that we're working on together, so we've both got like little mini focuses on our work, which is brilliant. And the crossover and the people we know, even though there's a big age gap, we're still connecting. So I'm talking to my sister last night, saying, "Oh, guess who I've got on the show in the morning?" She said, "Oh, you know, like Jude used to teach him." You know, like, so we've got this connection, even though there's an age gap. There's just this very much connectedness of Wythenshawe, I think.
As we continue on our journey, we met incredible individuals, people who prove that in Wythenshawe, creativity isn't just a hobby, it's an essential service. The organisations that facilitate it are creating everlasting value, showing just how invaluable the arts can be in truly changing people's lives.
The art therapy is, man, you know, I used to laugh at art. I used to think it was for geeks. You're not a geek if you love art. I love art. I've got loads of tattoos. You can see my tattoos tell a story. It's a lease of life. And young people, music and art is something that has saved me, and it's used a lot during my mentoring sessions as well, music and art. And the way Safe Spots have delivered art therapy is, it's exciting. It's not sit down and draw. It's sit down, what would you like to draw? There's just a choice.
What do you think you would say to young people right now? So if you've got a young person watching this and they've got that art block or they've got that passion block, what would you say to them to help them to move forward from that?
Well, one thing that I would say is, like, don't let people try and tell you that you're doing something wrong, because the thing is, with art, you can't go wrong. If you like it, then that means it's correct. Because there's no way that you can do something wrong, because everyone's got their own style, everyone's got their own way of expressing themselves, and you know, you can't go wrong with that. If you're painting what you feel, or drawing what you feel, or doing whatever you feel,
it is correct.
Then it is correct, because that is what you feel. It's not what anyone else feels. And if people don't like it, well, just take a look at what you've created, and you think they can do better than that? They can't, because it's what you do and it's what you're feeling, and no one can else do what you do better, because it's what you're doing out of your own emotions.
So we've seen pupils come in the door who wouldn't even speak to us, wouldn't even look us in the eye, and then we've got them on the stage at the Forum, which is a huge 800-seater theatre, and they're performing back to the families. We've had them at Altrincham Festival on massive parade floats. We've had them dancing in competitions. We've even had students go on to professionally perform, or go on to train professionally. So I just think for their confidence, even social skills, and just kind of those transferable skills that they can take into later life, it just kind of is the best thing that you can do for your child.
To be honest with you, we just want to empower young people and get them to be more creative and engage. And when I say engage, it's like what we said before, so schools, divisions, actually do stuff. You know, a lot of people are just locked into the phones, don't really do much. So we tried to bring out that inner creative side.
When you fall in love with something like I did with dance, like I was like 11, I think, or 12 before I'd even had a dance class or a dance lesson. I used to love to dance, but that was when I had my first dance lesson, and loving it and having that passion for it, and something that I just kept coming back to when it became a part of my life. So then where I lived, to gain an opportunity to then teach that and then also give back what I had received. Like, I think nothing beats that, and that's something that I really try and do now in my business, and just create opportunities for people who might not always get them, because it's a very hard industry, dance and music and everything. So to be able here in Bagley and Wythenshawe to be able to have the opportunity to do something you love, I just think it's so important, so amazing.
People were like breaking out of the boxes and the constraints that society has put on them. There's a lot of new artists, not only musically, but doing arts, doing spoken words, doing rap. There's so many different people from Wythenshawe that I personally know who are like changing the outlook on us, because even in football, there's people that have grown that lived in Wythenshawe and they've ended up being on a big stage, and it just shows that anything's possible.
Well, set up Community Media Crew in 2015 simply because I was working with people with learning disabilities, a project that folded. So I didn't want to miss the people that I've been working with for a few years. So we set up here in Wythenshawe in St John's, where we are now. And it's a great way to practice drama, camera work. I think importantly, which gets overlooked, people have got a voice and they can make projects that they want to themselves. I don't just stare at it all the time. Well, Community Media Crew is unique in many ways. I think the main way is because we use improvisation as the stable way of making films and projects. A lot of people can't read or write here, so we have techniques where we'll sit around a table with a cup of tea and we'll rehearse scenes, and people get to learn it really quickly. And then working that way, we've managed to make 3 feature films. We're finishing one now, and it's been a buzz because people that don't normally speak much, when I first met them, are speaking now and domineering, if you like, domineering what they want to do, which I think is great. And it's a cliche, everyone should have a voice who's got disabilities, but we're proof that it works, and one way to continue.
If you're just showing your creativity in terms of just life and what you do and your music and all that stuff, people mess with you more than if you're just lying and trying to fit in and that everybody else fits into. Just try to being different is being yourself, is what I said.
And it went beyond our wildest dreams. I mean, we started rehearsing the movie, but we had no idea how much it would change people's lives, how much giving people an outlet for their creativity, how becoming a family together by getting to know each other, how much that would change us, how much it would change them. And what was so beautiful is we started seeing the treasure coming out of people. We just gave them a bit of encouragement and they started transforming almost in front of our eyes.
If you're a teen and you've got a lot going on and you've got this anger inside you and you've got this sort of, these emotions that everyone gets running through you, you need to be able to get that out. And whether it's music or sport, or it doesn't matter really what it is, but it's that outlet and you're getting it out there creatively, so that then you're not going to be getting it, you're not going to blow and sort of do something that maybe you shouldn't. So that's why it's so important, because obviously we're not saying we're going to get you in a band and you're going to be famous, but chances are it's going to really help you no matter what kind of job route you want to go down in the future, because you're thinking differently, you're being creative, and it'll look great on your CV as well, to be able to show that you do more than just the 9 to 5, that you make music, you like music, you enjoy music. It just shows to potential employers in the future that you're a human being and not a robot, which I think is really important.
It's really important for local communities to have their own voice. Our sort of catchline is by the people, for the people. And places like Wythenshawe and other places that have got community stations are often misrepresented and underrepresented, or always poorly represented in the big media. So it's important that there's a way to counteract that and give the real people that live here with the lived experience of the place a voice, so that they can express themselves, they can counter any kind of negativity, they can show the positive things that are going on in the community. And otherwise, if you just left it to the evening news and the big media, it would be all terrible stuff. It would be all crime. It would be all destitution and poverty and the rest of it. But that's not what Wythenshawe's like. We all know that. Wythenshawe's a great place. It's a really sticky place where people want to stay. The kids want to stay if possible. So it gives us issues with housing supply and so on. But it's not because it's a bad place. It's because it's a great place and people love it.
Being kind of working class Mancunian, the south side of that, from what I know, and that doesn't change too much from whether you're in Wythenshawe, Chorlton, Hume, Whalley Range. This kind of working class Mancunian voice, it's different to a working class London voice. It's got a different identity to the rest of Britain, and what people will say about them is that they're Mancunian. And what I've learned to love is that that's valuable and it's important, and it's something that should give me confidence to wake up out of bed with, and it's something that should be one of the first things on the page when I'm trying to tell stories, create a piece of work that's got my voice in it, because my voice is that.
Wythenshawe is a boiling pot of potential. Like, there is so much potential. These are people who have talent, who have drive, who fight every day to survive, and if they were just given a lifeline, would use that fight to thrive.
The people really are the key to it, and we've got quite a few capable people here who are really keen to do what they do. But more than that, I think it's the desire to get other people involved and get new people involved, give people a chance. We don't mind if people, just have a go, as long as they enjoy themselves.
We just love to see creativity flourish in Wythenshawe, and we believe it's more than possible. There's some amazing people, untapped creative talent in Wythenshawe, and it needs to get honed and get out there.
We still have the history here. We still have the families, the second and third generation families that are here, and I can walk through Civic and see a face and think, I taught your mum or your auntie or your gran because you look like this person, So it's just that familiarity as well, when you feel as though you know people because you've lived and worked here all your life.
I'm from Benchill, born and bred, you know what I mean? My dad's from Wythenshawe, my mum's from Wythenshawe, just live over there. We've always been here, we've always been on the estate. And we believe that this is a great estate with great people.
Our journey is about amplifying the voices contributing to this community. It made me think of the first place that did that for me, the youth theatre. The youth theatre was where so many of us found our voice, and I thought that platform was gone for good.
So, James.
Hello.
Do you know when we were outside the forum today?
Yeah.
Today, and we were talking about Wythenshawe Youth Theatre.
Yeah.
And I was looking through the footage, and you literally said it's so formative for you.
Yeah.
But then you said to the guy that they should bring it back.
Yeah.
Did you know it's back?
I did not know it's back. When did it come back?
It came back in February last year.
Oh, yes.
Someone called Ash McDowell.
Okay.
We're going to interview him on the 22nd of this month.
I'd love to interview him. Yes, very much so. Yes. It's back.
So first of all, what's your name and what is it you do here?
My name is Ash McDowell, and I am the founder and artistic director at Wythenshawe Youth Theatre.
Wonderful. So Wythenshawe Youth Theatre has quite a history, and then it kind of faded away for a very, very long time. How important do you think it is that things like Wythenshawe Youth Theatre continue within an area like Wythenshawe?
I think it's really important to have places like Wythenshawe Youth Theatre within Wythenshawe. I think that you know, these kind of grassroots youth theatre and Amdram and all across the board kind of organisations help to provide our young people with skills that will set them up for life. I think academic skills are really important, but I think that social skills, especially now, in a time where mental health issues are so prominent within our young people, you know, these skills set them up from being sort of 5, 6 years old to be confident, resilient, you know, leadership skills, working collaboratively, all of that stuff that you cover without them even knowing, especially at that age, will help to set them up for the future.
So we opened on the 14th of October, the day after we launched Wythenshawe Youth Theatre. So Wythenshawe Youth Theatre now supports 50 young people. So that ranges from 7 up to 18. And there's not really anything like that in the area. So Ash McDowell runs it, and she's got a background in theatre, obviously. So it's been a real revelation in terms of introducing local people to theatre, because I think from the outside looking in, theatre can sometimes be a bit elitist and isn't that welcoming. So the beauty of Wythenshawe Youth Theatre is that they learn everything from acting, script writing, stage design, lighting, and obviously for me, it's beautiful because we can make use of everything that we have, because we've obviously put a lot of investment into our space. And for me, seeing young people actually accessing that, it's like, you know, it's a dream come true.
At the minute, for kids, the most accessible thing is film and music. And being able to express yourself unfiltered and have those moments where you are creating. There's real science that shows that if we give these young people an outlet to express themselves and start to process their trauma, and not just young people, but older people as well, to process the trauma through being creative, like that guy was saying, getting up and just singing on the microphone, making music on your iPhone, making movies with a little camera, whatever it is, however, learning to write really great stories with the way that you want to. It's proven scientifically and psychologically that can help these young people and older people process their trauma in a way that helps them to develop and get that sense of inner calm.
Community spirit.
Family, roots.
Layers of history.
Pride.
And respect for others.
Passionate.
Creative.
We all work together.
People are smiling.
If we're up, you're up.
A very strong sense of belonging.
I love these people.
There is talent everywhere.
And, you know, just my dipping in and out of this space, the creative space here at the Forum, I'm seeing new people and new faces I've never seen before. And even like the open mic that we do here, that Taryn does and a boyfriend, I walked past these people in Civic and didn't know they were singers and poets, and you know, and it blows my mind that you're sitting watching and a young girl gets on the stage and she's, you know, messing with the microphone, and all of a sudden it's like this voice comes out and you think, oh my God, you know, like she, you know, this talent is within us and walks amongst us, and we don't know it unless we bring it together like this. And so that's really important, the work that Wythenshawe, however we want to say it, is doing, because it's bringing these people together and not just networking, but just opening your eyes. You know, I've seen people say, well, I've written something, I want someone to write it, you know, read it for me, who are actually getting up and reading it themselves now. So, you know, it gives them confidence. If you can do it, I can do it. And so the more we can see people within our community that we recognise ourselves in them, the more we see that, the more confidence we're going to give to people. And I think the culture hub, you know, should be that sort of red flag in the middle of Civic Centre that brings everybody together, and not just in their own passion of creativity or art that they do, but finding connections with each other and finding different ways to engage with my community with my writing. And that's the same with song and poetry and you know, technical know-how.
Working with Wythenshawe as well. So Wythenshawe are a group of local creatives. So we've done 2 live events here, and we've gotten so much local talent to perform on the night. And I don't want to sound surprised, but I was surprised that the actual talent, as in objectively, they were amazing. Like we had we had female poets in their 50s, female poets in their 60s, and then we had like an 18, 19-year-old guitarist perform as well. So it was a full spectrum, and it's for me it's about getting all the generations involved. So I'm a big advocate of I can't remember the term now, intergenerational work, because it's not just young people in the area.
We set out on a journey to amplify the voices of Wythenshawe, to celebrate a creative identity. This journey was about engaging diverse communities to find out what makes this place special. The answer wasn't in the buildings, but in the people. What we found was a community defined by its willingness to support each other's aspirations. The spirit of Wythenshawe is found in the simple, powerful act of giving someone a chance. It reminds me of a story.
I remember speaking on that when I wanted to become a filmmaker, when I realised that's what I wanted. We couldn't afford a camera. There was no way I was affording a camera. I had a job since I was 12 years old, and there was no way I was going to be able to afford £200 for a camera. It just wasn't going to happen. And I remember knocking on doors around Wythenshawe, asking if anybody had a camera I could borrow. And lo and behold, somebody let me borrow their camera. I went and I made the most awful film you've ever seen. Fortunately, it's lost in time. I showed this gentleman the film, and he said, keep it. He gave me a chance. And now I'm on the cusp of going to America to shoot films with Hollywood movie stars. I've worked with people from Supernatural. I've worked with people who have shot films such as Skyfall. I'm working with Corrie stars. People who want to work with me because they're actually inspired by what I do and the journey that I've had. And I was just given a chance, you know?
Yeah, sow the seeds in. Yeah. And I think that's actually sort of like what Wythenshawe is. It sows seeds and it flourishes, and that changing landscape that we see is changing to the needs of the community that live here. And I think that's you know what Wythenshawe is. It sows seeds and it sees where they go, and it's going to be a fabulous place to be.